It's not clickbait. On March 9th, I will be hosting my last Theory episode, at which point I'll be handing off the channels to someone else.
Wow. Man, I mean, that's crazy. I get it 100%. Like, I know a lot of people have, I've been hearing about this, and I decided I'm finally check out the video myself. Scrolling through YouTube, you can't miss it. MatPat is one of the largest and most successful YouTubers there is. This man has been, him and his girl, or his wife, they've been working so hard. Some of the hardest workers on this platform. And I've been watching them since I was a tiny little potato. And it's sad to see for sure, but none of this stuff is really surprising. Like, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, how could this happen? I can't believe it." I can. It's 100% believable. Dude's he's been doing this for 15, somewhere almost 15 years. I think it was like it has to be at least 12 to 13 years he's been doing this, and he's got a kid. He's married. They got this large company, this large team, or whatever. I would imagine that he hasn't even had time to really enjoy his family for a long, long time. It's been nothing but business and the channel for, for a really long time now. So I would imagine that, it eventually was going to take its toll. Plus the signs were there, sold the company. He's been mass hiring and doing all kinds of stuff, man. Like I saw the writing on the wall. It just kind of looked like they were getting to that point to where they were gearing up for that, for Matt to like probably step down, and it seems like he was bulking up the company so we could run without him, or at least that's what it felt like. So let's watch a little more. We're not gonna watch this whole thing, but I did definitely want to do a bit of a reaction to it in general because, like I said, MatPat, his videos, along with a lot of others, man. And you know what? This actually makes me want to do. I'm gonna do a bit of a nostalgia reaction, pretty soon here, where I'm gonna go find all the stuff I used to watch as a kid on YouTube and just start doing reactions to that stuff now. Now that I'm an adult potato and not a little spud anymore, I can look at some of the older things and just see like what appealed to me, what did I like about them, why did I engage in it. There's so many things, so many really old videos that I get nostalgic about thinking about sometimes, and I think I'm gonna do that just to have some fun. But let's see what MatPat has to say here and listen to the full story from his mouth, because I've been hearing it from all kinds of other people as to what's going on.
There it is. That's it. Send tweet. We're all done here. That's all you need to know, right? Oh, wow. Forgive me, by the way, if I'm a little bit more disorganized than usual. Normally, I would want to script out something like this pretty precisely. But with an announcement like this, I wanted to bring it back to just us. There's no one else in the room. There's no teleprompters. There's no nothing. It's just the way that this whole thing started. It's a conversation between us.
He's gonna get all emotional. Him and freaking Markiplier, man. This is kind of the same way when PewDiePie left, dude. Like, it's just, you hate to see it. You just kind of wish they would just last forever, and all the things that you grew up with and that you like, you watch and fade away. It's not a fun feeling, but, all good things must come to an end.
And sorry that I keep getting emotional about this. I'll try not to, but it's a big deal. Like, if you think about it, this channel is Steph and my first child, really. Before we had Ollie, before we had Skip, CatBat, like, it was this.
Don't say that. Don't let Ollie hear you say that. This channel came. This is his first kid. I had a conversation with that about somebody before. I'm just like, I've actually seen somebody tell their kids that their cat that she had before she had them was her first child and he comes first. And I'm just like, don't. Stop doing that. I know he's joking, but still. I'm just like that. You don't know how that's gonna affect your kid, man.
This was our baby. This channel has been going for 13 years. I think
Oh,
the number
13,
was
there it
somewhere
is.
around like 1,200 theories, and only half of those are FNAF. Shocking. I know, we actually did stuff that wasn't FNAF related, but this has been a literal third of my life, and I'm gonna miss you.
Oh, stop it.
I'm gonna miss this. I value what we have here.
Ah, Matt, come on, man.
I value this conversation, this openness, this relationship that we share. And I'm sad that I won't be able to see you every week. Which then I guess prompts the question of like, why?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this now?
Well, I mean, the why is kind of obvious, right? Like, it's kind of obvious. Some people may have been caught off guard, but if anybody's been paying attention, it's pretty. The why is pretty obvious, I think. Now, if the Game Grumps ever quit, I'm gonna have to jump into a fryer. I can't handle that, man. I don't care how stupid Aaron is. I love him.
Now, why am I making this announcement today? Why am I walking away from the channels? Well, to be honest, it was Tom Scott. You can blame Tom Scott. Tom just did his farewell video, and I'm like, well, he was able to do it. I want to be able to fly away in a helicopter. Obviously, that's not it. But really, my reasons for making this announcement today is probably largely the same as Tom's reasons, or Seth Everman's, or Captain Sparkles, or Papa Meats, or Stampy Longheads. Like, there's...
Oh, Meat Canyon's, he's going too? I thought that was... Okay. I guess that was an actual... Huh. Okay. I thought that was like a meme or something. Alright. Man. Okay.
a lot of these videos that are coming out these days, and there's going to be a lot more happening throughout this year. Steph and I have known this video would be coming for the last 3 years. We weren't sure it was necessarily going to be today. We didn't know exactly when it would fall, but we knew it was going to happen eventually. That's why over the last couple years we've been staffing up so much. That's why we partnered with a larger company to help run the channels. That's why we've been spending so much time outside of this box training up the team to make the best videos that they can. Because
Okay, yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, there's been a lot of this stuff going on, and I haven't been following it super closely. But, you know, just as the news comes out, you kind of catch a wind of it, and you're like, okay, this is building up to something. Like, something's coming. And, you know, and it's not like genuinely, I don't think that he's going to be gone. I still think he's going to be involved. He's just going to be a lot hands-off now. Like, he's built this legacy. It is now a well-oiled machine capable of running on its own. I think, but I guess that begs the question, like, who's going to be the, like, he's not getting rid of the channels, right? He just said he was training up people so they can kind of take on the legacy. So, like, who's going to be the new MatPat?
we knew that we couldn't do this forever. We knew that, honestly, we didn't want to do this forever. For as
Who
much
would?
as I love you, and I love overthinking things, and I love theorizing, I don't love late nights.
Me neither.
I don't love the fact that Steph and I have been work first for over a decade.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. That's what I'm saying. And like, even if you have a really good relationship, which they seem to have, I'm not going to make any assumptions about that, because what happens behind closed doors, a lot of celebrities and very popular people got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. So don't assume anything. But based on what we know, seems like they get along pretty well. When you have somebody you love and care about and respect that much, and you just can't spend time with them like you want to, you can't enjoy your life with them as you want to, like, you know, it causes these unintentional rifts, man. I would hate to have seen him just keep pushing this and keep doing it or whatever, and somehow this break them up or mess up their relationship or something like that, or, you know what I mean? Like, that would be horrible, you know? Get out while the getting's good.
Where I'm sitting down at dinner with my best friend, and we're talking about business logistics. Or we're talking about animatronic toes. I miss the days where I could just sit down on the couch with her and play video games, and it's not for content.
I can see that.
I'm playing a game, and I'm not thinking about what theories are going to come out of that.
Yeah, man.
That's it. So that's a big...
I totally get it, man. I've been doing YouTube for a little bit now, and I've had quite a few, probably like 3 or 4 different channels that I've been working on, and there was a point where I was just like, fuck this shit. I'm so tired of it. This is just becoming too much. I need to take a break. It was the most liberating thing ever, like to not wake up and have to think about any of that shit anymore. Like just to not think about it. I was playing a video game and I was just playing, and then I thought like, oh, I should be recording this. And I'm like, no, wait, actually no. I shouldn't be, because I should just be enjoying myself. I get it. I get it, man.
Big reason. That was a big one right there. But also just the internet's changing. My life has changed in the last 13 years. I mentioned Dolly before. He's the coolest little dude, and he's getting older by the minute. And I watch him, and he has so much fun, and he is so much smarter than I was when I was his age. He also probably knows the FNAF lore better than I do, which is a problem that I should probably address at some point. But honestly...
That's funny, man. We don't see a lot of their, which is good too. Like I know a lot of people say, you know, more Ollie stuff. We want to see more of Ollie. How's he going? I was with us. Like, leave him, keep him off the internet and pure as long as possible, please. Like once he gets old enough, fine. But like, keep that kid secure for as long as you possibly can.
I want to be able to spend more time with him. Another sad fact of the matter is I'm getting older. I'm 37 now.
He's how old? He's 37? God damn, man. He is aging really well. He don't look 37. I mean, he's been doing this for a really long time, and he basically looked like this 12 years ago. So, but god damn, dude. Who'd you sell your soul to?
The other day, I actually had to Google my own age. And you know that when you have to start like doing math in your head to calculate how old you are over the hill, my friends. Though to be fair,
man.
To my credit, I think I'm like the only 37-year-old out there who has an unironic appreciation of Skibidi Toilet. Then again, maybe that's the problem, right? Like, maybe that's not a good thing. And honestly, because this is all about us being honest, there is a bit of a selfish side to this. When you think about it, there's only really 2 ways to step away from a YouTube channel. You either just decide the day that you stop uploading and you're like, I'm done, or you just keep uploading videos from now until the heat death of the universe, and you watch as your relevance slowly dies or your passion slowly dies. And
yeah, and that's the way a lot of people go too. And it's rough. It's really, because you feel like you basically watch everything you built just slowly just die. It's like watching somebody who you care about who got cut across the room, and they're not losing quite enough blood to die in any significant time, and they're just slowly bleeding out over time. And you're just like, man. Yeah, that's really not the way you really want to go about it. But a lot of people do that, and they keep trying to push the envelope. They keep doing things to try to be relevant when they probably should have just stopped when they were ahead, you know? And it seems really stupid to hit your stride and be doing really, really good and cut out then, because they're like, what were you thinking, man? You were doing so well. But like, leaving on that type of legacy is good. Like, nobody wants to be the person that where everybody's just like, oh man, they used to be so good and they used to put out this stuff, and now they're just pumping out garbage, you know, just autonomously, and there's no passion, no love, and it is just trash now. And a lot of gaming franchises are like that at the moment. And it's just not a good look, man. You don't want to go out, because that's what people are going to remember. They're not going to remember all the good stuff. They're going to remember the way it was when you finally decide to dip out, man. So I get them.
My journey in this place, I always wanted to go out on a high note. And when you stop and look at the last year, this has been the best year in the theorist lifespan ever. Like, no joke. It is our highest view year. It is the year where we launched Style Theory and immediately put our foothold in a brand new space, and that took off, and now we're one of the top style and fashion channels on YouTube. And that kind of completes the trifecta of, hey, we now have a top channel in 4 different verticals that are completely different, and no other YouTuber really has ever been able to do it.
That's, man, that is one hell of an accomplishment. Like, that is a crazy accomplishment.
To that scale. That's amazing. This
That
is also
is.
the year where I was able to meet you guys at our Broadway show. I was able to play at the PGA and show that, hey, YouTubers aren't particularly good at golf, but they can make your event relevant for like a couple of minutes. It was also the year that I got to host the Streamy Awards, and it wasn't cringe. I mean, to be fair,
I don't know, man. I don't know if you could disassociate the word cringe with Streamy Awards. I feel like they're fairly synonymous. I don't think you can have an event like that and it not be cringe. I feel like that's not even possible.
Streamy Awards are always a little bit cringe.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
it was the right amount of cringe. When I pull up videos of all my favorite creators and I watch them, and all of a sudden I start hearing people just casually dropping, "That's just a theory."
It's just a theory, a game theory.
Now, this is just a theory, people.
At the end of the day, it's just a game theory.
That's just a theory. A Freebirds theory.
Also a lot of lore, so if you're a big theory head, proceed at your own risk.
I did not know about this theory.
That's a theory.
That right there, that is incredible.
That is.
That's the note that I want to leave on.
Yeah.
That's how
Oh man, I understand that for sure. That's the note you want to leave on, man. That is right there. Because like MatPat, man, he's got a pretty clean history. Like, there's some people who dislike him. You know, he's had some controversies for his theories, but you know they were just theories. So whatever, you know, it's never been that big a deal. Some people take it way more seriously than others. Like, there are some people who are like, I hate this person. He's a demon, a terrible human being, a monster, because he thinks that my favorite character is not what I think it is, or some stupid shit. Like, people are very weird. But yeah, I mean, I don't. How could you not like him? How could you not like MatPat, man? He's been a pleasant dude for as long as I can remember, and a very strong and positive presence on YouTube since the very beginning. It's even if you don't like him, it's really sad to see a juggernaut like that just kind of disappear.
You just know it's the right time. All of those reasons coming together, saying, hey, this is the moment. And that's hard to say, because change is scary. Change is hard. But sometimes the right decision isn't the easy decision.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess a lot of people, like, you'd have to be in that position to really say what you would do. Like, I'm never going to be relevant enough to where I would have to make oh my God, should I leave the internet? Will people miss me? Like, I've given up any hope of ever being even remotely that relevant. It's just never going to happen. But so I couldn't even imagine being in that position and having to think about, you know, getting rid of something that you've built that's this big and just deciding to walk away from it. Like, I couldn't even fathom what that could even look like. But, you know, just empathizing with the idea of having something like that and having to walk away with it. You could imagine that it's not very easy, you know, but I think they're gonna, the good part is it's not like it's disappearing. And I do believe whoever's hands he's leaving it in, he really meticulously handpicked people to make sure that this thing properly represents who he is and what he wanted to build. And that's the most important part. You don't want nobody shitting on your legacy. Even if you leave it as it is or whatever, like, you still want people to make sure that they're representing what you built properly. So I don't think he would have just hired any old people to do that.
The easy decision would just be to carry on doing this and do FNAF Part 332. But that wouldn't be the right decision. I think the best way to explain it is with a video game analogy. Feels appropriate, right? Whoa, it's game theory, ha! Did it. Check the game part of it off. But the way I like to think about it is Earthbound. I think I've made it pretty clear over the years that that is, without question, my favorite game of all time. Sans' Nest, all that, you're all familiar with that. But what you might not be familiar with at this point is how the game ends. At the end of Earthbound, after you save the world, everything opens up to you. You can revisit every single location that you've been to. You can talk to every NPC that you met on your journey. And it's this incredible moment as a gamer. You see just how many lives have been impacted thanks to your journey. And then after spending as much time as you want talking to all those people, you end up back home. You go back to where it all began, where you were just a kid waking up in bed and starting your adventure. And even though your mom's there and your dog's there and your weird telephone dad's there, it feels different somehow. Like, sure, this is still a place of love and acceptance and comfort and security, but you just don't quite fit anymore. Because you just traveled the world. You made all these new friends. You are different. You grew up. And your relationship to this place grows up. It evolves. In case you couldn't tell, I'm Ness, which I guess would also mean that I'm also Sans. But I was also Ness in the FNAF movie, which just opens up all sorts of weird canon. Slap a thumbnail on that one. So anyway, there you have it. That is why I'm leaving. I hope you can understand. But that obviously begs the question of, like, what happens to the channels? Well, for the next 10 weeks, we're going to have...
Now we're getting to the meat here. We're going to figure out exactly what the future of the channel is. And I think we'll stop after this once we figure out where this is going and what he plans on doing from here. Because I'm curious how this is going to work out. Like, there is no MatPat replacement. Sorry. There just isn't. There is no person who's going to fill his shoes quite, like, period. There's only one MatPat. That's it. That's all there is to it. But we'll see what the plan is here, or who the plan is here.
Have ourselves a big old going away party. If Unis Annus taught us anything, it taught us that you probably shouldn't use urine for a personal sauna. But if Unis Annus taught us two things, one was to not soak in your own urine, but two was to appreciate the time that you have left. So that's why over the next 10 weeks, we're gonna have a bunch of theories that are gonna be a lot of fun, revisiting old favorites, getting some closure on things. We're gonna see some familiar faces, a lot of awesome stuff. Although to be fair, I think it's 9 weeks, and I think we counted this one as week 1. That was stupid of us. That, my friends, is how you wind up getting Wario being 10 feet tall. Mathematical rigor. Should have double-checked the numbers. So I have 9 theories left on each of the channels, but we're gonna call them MatPat's Final 10 because that just sounds better. At which point then on March 9th, we're gonna have that big going away celebration, MatPat's Final Theory, and I just dust away. I stand as...
Okay. So, like, he's not just cutting it off immediately. Okay, yeah. All right. So there's gonna be, what, he said 10 more per channel? That's 40 more theories?
Stride my music man and I just whipping Nene off into the distance. But then something special happens. Do the channels go away with me? No, actually. I've always thought that anyone can be a theorist, right? If you are passionate about a topic and you love to overthink it and over-research it, then congratulations, you're a theorist. And that could range from, hey, I have family recipes that I'm constantly looking to refine, to, hey, I want to create the perfect fantasy sports team. Because here's the thing, sports pros, at the end of the day, if you are in the statistics and numbers and doing calculations to see if your team won or lost, you're just playing a glorified Dungeons and Dragons game. Hate to break it to you, you're one of us, my friends. And sure, game theory.
Nerds. Yeah, don't feel too good, do it. Not. That's a bit of a stretch, but I see what he's getting at.
Is a format that I created. It's a show with this very excitable host who makes a lot of cringy dad jokes and says the word lore a lot. But at the end of the day, it's more than just the host. It is a show. It is a format. And in a broader sense, it is a state of mind. It's a way of thinking and approaching the world around you. It's more than just the host. And when you think about it, not a lot of YouTube channels function that way. We're special in that regard. Like, you're not gonna be able to get another Markiplier stepping into the Markiplier channel, and you're never gonna be able to recreate Jenna Marbles And to be honest, you're never gonna get another MatPat either. But
Yeah,
you can
okay.
have
I just
another
said
game
that
theorist.
for sure.
You can have another film theorist or food theorist or style theorist. I think in a lot of ways, we almost function kind of like the Doctor Who of YouTube, where as one host fades away, a new one kind of respawns in their place. And they're able to put their own unique spin and flavor on the format.
Okay, so is he... It feels like we got a multiple theorist situation on our hands here. Are they going to be like rotating people in and out? Like, is this going to be just like they're going to have maybe like a team of people who rotate out theories for each particular channel or something like that? Because that would be kind of cool. Like, I hate to say like kind of like G4 and IGN and stuff were back in the day where they had like this group of people who would all kind of essentially do the same thing, but they would all have their own individual takes and stuff, and they would all kind of specialize in a specific area, you know, that type of thing. Like, or, I mean, I could just watch the video and see, but this is a reaction video, so I'm gonna react.
And make it their unique thing. You have eras of the different theorist channels, and so, you know, my era is fading away and someone new is coming in. Maybe this is the David Tennant to Matt Smith transition, right? That was a good, solid series of episodes right there. So who then is going to be taking over the channels? Well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but fewer and fewer of the words that I'm saying in any given episode are actually mine. If you go down to the credits, you can actually see in the description that there are certain names that have been appearing more and more frequently. Like, yeah.
That I didn't know. I didn't know he wasn't writing his own stuff. This, as he said, this was like recently though. Like, interesting. So I'm assuming this was like a part of the training to see, you know, how the other people are writing the scripts and he's delivering them to see, you know, how well they're received and if they fit the brand, and they were probably like swapping things in and out.
Yeah, I'm listed on every single one as the writer because I touch every single script, I polish it into my voice, but in all honesty, the bulk of what I'm saying is coming from someone else. It's their research, it's their work. Why should they have to filter their creativity through my voice? I've always envisioned these channels as a place where we could spotlight all sorts of creators. I mean, it even goes back to the original URL of this channel, right? It isn't Game Theory, it was always the Game Theorists, because this was a place where you could find a lot of like-minded creators.
That's true. That's true. There were, what was it, Gaijin Goomba, the Austin, I fucking love Austin's videos, man. I miss him. I was sad when he left too. Oh man, his videos were so cool.
Creators, all with a passion for gaming and education. That's why we had the partner shows like Gaijin Goomba with Culture Shock, or Drake with Smash History, or Ryder with A Brief History, or Austin with the Science, and Lee with the Breakdown. They were...
Yeah, I only watched like 3 of those, but yeah, I definitely remember.
We're all here because we all had a similar goal, to educate people through the lens of gaming. And then YouTube pivoted and then made it so that way doing a channel in that style doesn't really work anymore. But we still tried to keep that ethos alive by making sure that we're regularly covering small indie projects. Stuff like OnlyCans, like Mandela Catalog, like OWO. OWO? See? I learned. But if we're doing that for all these other creators, why aren't we doing it for the creators on our own staff who have been in the trenches doing the research, writing these words to deliver to you over the last couple years? I have been fortunate. I have been so blessed to have this platform available to me that you've given me over the last 13 years. But I think now it's time to pass it on to the next generation. It's time to give someone else a shot.
That's cool, man. That's fucking awesome. That is so cool. And also, too, the importance of his words there. This platform that you've given me. Of course, MatPat put in all the work and he made it or whatever, but a lot of these channels and stuff, their relevance is almost completely dependent on the viewers and the people who support and follow them. That's that level of humbleness that has kept him relevant and kept him at the forefront of successful YouTubers all this time. You know, that attitude, that gratitude.
But I realize that I'm getting off track here. So back to the question. Who's taken over? First
Yes.
off, it's not going to one person, but rather 4. I would
Oh,
not
okay.
wish my schedule on anyone. Like, sure, I'm willing to not sleep for the last 13 years of my life, but I feel like as old man YouTube passing this along to the next generation, I should probably do my best to try and make it more sustainable for them. It's also going to
Yeah.
people that you're already familiar with. You've seen them showing up in shorts. You've seen them here on the couch with me for GT Live. You've sometimes seen them washing their hair with me in my own shower. Don't read too much into that.
You shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't. You should. If you didn't want people to read into it, then you should not have said it. You know better. Come on. You know better. You said the words.
But it is accurate. Most importantly, though, they're each an expert in their own individual subject matter, and they've been spearheading the creative of the channels for the better part of the last year. And I think what's maybe the most fascinating about all of this is that each of the 4 of them come to us from a completely different angle. You know, so for instance, you have Lee, right? Lee's gonna be taking over Film Theory, and Lee has been with us for 10 years. 10 years, it's crazy. I believe he was actually editor number 3 for the channels. We had Ronnie, and then we had Ryder, Foot of a Ferret, and then we had Lee. I think his first theory that he ever worked on was Rosalina's Peach's daughter, Peach is Dead. One of my all-time favorite episodes that we've ever done on the channel.
Wow, that's kind of cool. I remember the other 2 editors.
And over time, he rose up. He had his own show on the channel here. He had Breakdown, which were these just beautiful documentaries that were edited in such an incredible way. And since then, he's been spearheading a lot of the creative on both the writing and the visual side. And then, of course, you have Amy over on Style Theory. And Amy is actually a very different case here.
Bro, she looked like a vampire. Like, what? Hers, like, oh my god. I don't know if, like, the brightness or something is just, like, really turned up on her, but holy crap, dude.
When she first approached us, I think it was 6 years ago, she didn't know about the channels. All she knew was that she wanted to learn everything that she could about digital video, and that Theorist was kind of the place that you went to learn that stuff. Like, we were the best when it comes to analytics and optimization and programming and things like that. She got in and she just devoured everything that we threw at her. So much so that she eventually got to the point where she was so good that she was consulting the largest mobile game company in the world based off of the stuff that we were working on here in Sweden.
Wow.
Incredible. And
That's
all of that
amazing.
while being responsible for packaging somewhere around like 500 episodes across all the channels. And then she helped me and Steph brainstorm Style Theory for 2 years before the channel eventually launched, hoping that maybe one day she would be able to rise into the hosting role for it. And now here it is. And then, of course, you have Santi and Tom. Santi over on Food Theory and Tom over here on Game Theory. And interestingly enough, they both grew up watching Game Theory.
That's gotta be cool, man. That's gotta be amazing. Like, growing up watching a show and just admiring it and then being able to work on something. I'd love to be able to experience that at some point in my life. You gotta be supremely lucky, though.
We were their childhood show, which, to be fair, just shows how old we are. Santi would eventually go work at Mythical with Rhett and Link before coming here, where he is bravely spearheading Food Theory and letting me mercilessly make fun of all of his recipes. He's much better than I give him credit for. I just like giving him a hard time. And then Tom, he worked at Disney and Fox, but he knew all along that he wanted to be here, right? Like, this was his aspirational goal. He wanted to write here. He emailed us a cold email outreach. We just miraculously saw it, decided to audition him, and he crushed it. His first episode that he worked on was actually watching every single installment of the Pokemon anime to calculate Pikachu's level. And to be fair, that was his pitch. Like, I have asked people to do some crazy things.
Yeah, that sounds insane. Hey, this is the first thing I want to do coming in. Like, we're gonna go ape shit balls to the wall right out of the gate. I need to show y'all how serious I am. Bro, that's insane.
Things in the past, but not even I'm that brutal. Like, you can only watch Team Rocket blast off so many times, but he's like, this is an episode I'm passionate about. I think I'm gonna knock it out of the ballpark, and I'm gonna show you how committed I am. And he has been so committed ever since. So committed, in fact, that I told him, hey, if you're joining the channels, you do realize that you're gonna have to read every single FNAF book. And he's like, boom, he did it. And we're up here going crazy in the FNAF attic. But not only did he read every FNAF novel, he also read every single Hello Neighbor book. Yeah, he went that far.
Oh, wow. See, that's what you need, though. It's really good to see and hear that he's gonna have really dedicated people who are as passionate as he is spearheading these channels, because that's what they need, you know? Very passionate people who are very excited about what they do. Not just placeholders, man. These are going to be the new theorists, at least this next generation.
Currently, he's working his way through Bendy because the new movie's coming up. If nothing else, I think that really proves his level of commitment and also his appropriate level of insanity. He's a bit off the cuff at times. Like, I don't know if you saw on a recent GT Live, but Tom was here on the couch with me, and he actually denied that the moon existed, which was a choice.
Main character from the chat says, that sounds like somebody who doesn't have a flag on the moon.
I mean, that's if you believe it's even that.
The moon?
I don't think he actually believes that, but if he does, we're going to get some weird majority.
Yeah. All right. So we got some interesting characters, man. It looks like I'm kind of excited. I'm curious to see how this is going to go. It is not, and I repeat, it is not going to be the same. If you think you're going to be getting the same feeling you've been getting, all that nostalgia stuff, that shit's gone. And a lot of people need to learn how to let go. Like, too many people are way too attached to stuff, and they don't know when, like, it's like your time, you had your time. Your time is up. It's time for the next generation. Like, that's just kind of how it is, you know. That's why I'm really, you know, just kind of accepting the state of the gaming industry right now, because I'm just like, we had our time. We had our time. They're not catering to us anymore. We are not the target audience anymore. That's just what it is. You can't do anything about it, you know. So here we are. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's finish this up. I said I wasn't going to watch this whole thing, but I'm damn near 75% into it. So let's finish up this little section, and then we'll
Mass
move on.
theories, let me tell you. When I go out at this point, I am recognized at least 5 times. It's crazy. It's a really high number at this point. And it's a fascinating split, because 50% of the time it's like, oh my gosh, you're MatPat. You were my childhood. I loved watching your FNAF theories. And I'm always like, well, you know, FNAF's still going. And they're like, what? No way. And we talk about the new game, and it's always really fun. But the other half is, oh my gosh, you're MatPat. You are my childhood. I'm watching you right now. I loved your most recent theory. That's awesome. That's such an honor. I have been so honored to be a part of all of your lives. But I think it's time for someone else to have that honor. I think it's time for someone else to get to ruin some childhoods. And that just kind of leaves us with one final question.
Completely fair. Completely fair. Yeah, this video is getting long though. We're breaking, we're catching up, creeping up on 40 minutes. I think we got the point. MatPat's leaving. We know who's coming in. We know who's taking the place. We know their future plans for the show. I hope it goes well. I'm really hoping that it goes well. I'm excited for MatPat to be able to finally enjoy his family. I'm sure he's still going to be involved very indirectly, and there's still going to be some late nights. There's still going to be some work and stuff he needs to get done in regards to the channel and stuff like that. Totally get it, but I hope he's able to fully enjoy this freedom, and I hope he's able to watch kind of his legacy get the proper treatment it deserves. Because MatPat, he's a legend, man, and he's done a lot of good for the website, and it's very sad to see him go. But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, there it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. Another one bites the dust. Yeesh. Have a good one, guys.